who lives in the States and has written quite a few books. He's written Mahabharat, a summary study of Mahabharat, and he has also written some other literatures for devotees in a more abbreviated way, abridged way. And what Prabhupada said about defeating the atheistic scientists in this Kali Yuga. So here, Hanumanji, he's come to the gardens, Ashoka Gardens. These are the pleasure gardens of Ravana. And he's approached Sita as a messenger from Ram. And Sita declines from getting on his back and going back to Lord Ram. So here she's going to give Hanuman something to remind Lord Ram of her. After saying this, Sita Devi untied from her cloth a bright jewel that she had formerly used to decorate her head. While handing it to Hanuman, she said, "When he sees this jewel, my husband will remember three persons, because it was given to me by my mother as dowry in the presence of his father and mine. O Hanuman, please act in such a way that my Lord and Lakshman will come here as quickly as possible to terminate my terrible suffering." Hanuman circumambulated Sita Devi and was just about to depart when she once again spoke with a voice choked with tears. Sita Devi said, "Please speak to my Lord about me in such a way that he will become very eager to rescue me." Hanuman replied, "Do not worry. Very soon you will see Lord Ram, Lakshman, and all the heroic monkeys come here to kill Ravana." I'll jump ahead a little bit. As Hanuman once again prepared to depart, Sita Devi repeatedly implored him to act in such a way that would benefit her. Hanuman thought, "My mission would not be complete without ascertaining the true strength of the Rakshasas. I will destroy this Ashok Grove, which is one of Ravana's pleasure gardens, just to invoke his anger. When the king of the Rakshasas sends his army to attack me, I will destroy it and then return to Lord Ram." Having made up his mind, Hanuman began creating havoc by knocking down some trees and uprooting others. He stirred up the ponds and shattered the hilltops. After practically destroying the garden, Hanuman made his stand at the entrance. Hearing the screams of the frightened birds and animals, as well as the sounds created by Hanuman's mischief, the Rakshasi guards woke up with a start. When they spotted him stationed at the garden's entrance, Hanuman assumed a gigantic form, filling their hearts with terror. Surrounding Sita Devi, the Rakshasis asked, "Who is this creature? What were you talking to him about?" Sita Devi denied knowing Hanuman. She said, "He must be a Rakshasa. Since you are all Rakshasas, it is you that should know about him and not me." Reverse psychology. "I am also terrified to see his huge and awesome appearance." While some Rakshasas remained to guard Sita Devi, others went to report the matter to Ravana. After bowing down to their king, they said, "There is a giant monkey who first talked to Sita Devi and then devastated the entire Ashok Grove, except the small portion where she stays. When we asked Sita Devi about his identity, she claimed that she did not know him." Excited and angry, Ravana dispatched 80,000 fierce Rakshasas known as Kinkaras to go and capture Hanuman. When Hanuman saw the Rakshasas coming, brandishing their weapons, he further expanded his body while lashing his tail about so violently that the sound of it reverberated throughout Lanka. Hanuman challenged, "I am a servant of Lord Ram. If I like, I can kill 1,000 Ravanas." After saying this, Hanuman loudly roared. Although the Kinkaras were terrified, they attacked him from all sides. Hanuman grabbed an iron bar he found nearby. Then, while flying through the air, he slaughtered the Rakshasas within a short time. A few surviving Kinkaras hurried back to Ravana and informed him of the massacre. Upon receiving the news, Ravana's eyes began rolling with rage. Next, he ordered Jambumali, a powerful son of his chief minister, Prahasta, to fight. Meanwhile, Hanuman was engaged in destroying the immense temple of the Rakshasas, guardian deity located in the Ashok Grove. As he climbed the building, which was as large as a big hill, Hanuman tore it to pieces with his claws. The noise made by the debris crashing to the ground could be heard all over Lanka. Hanuman shouted, "May there be victory for Lord Ram and Lakshman. My name is Hanuman, and I will destroy Lanka within the very sight of the Rakshasas." Although the sound of Hanuman's voice struck terror into their hearts, the 100 temple guards picked up their weapons and surrounded him. Enraged, Hanuman broke off one of the temple's columns. While assuming a terrifying appearance, he whirled it around so that fire was generated as it struck the other pillars. As Hanuman proceeded to kill the guards with that blazing pillar, the entire temple became engulfed in flames. Again and again, Hanuman shouted, "Let there be victory for Lord Ram, Lakshman, and all the monkeys." Jambumali came on the scene, riding upon a chariot driven by donkeys, and the twanging of his bow filled the sky with its vibrations. Without wasting time, Jambumali struck Hanuman in the mouth with an arrow and in the arms with 10 more. As blood covered his entire face, infuriated Hanuman tore up a huge rock and hurled it with great force. Jambumali smashed it to bits with 10 arrows, and so Hanuman uprooted a big tree and whirled it around. Jambumali broke that tree to pieces with 4 arrows before it even left Hanuman's hands. The Rakshasa then pierced Hanuman's arms with 5 arrows and his chest with 10 more. Hanuman was undaunted, and he once again picked up his iron bar. After whirling it around impetuously, Hanuman threw it with great force. The iron bar struck Jambumali so violently that his head, legs, chariot, and donkeys could no longer be distinguished from one another. Reminds me of when Bhima killed that Kshatriya prince when they were living incognito. What was the name of Kita? Yeah, right. Turn him into a ball of flesh. Ravana became very agitated when he heard about Jambumali's death. Next, he ordered 7 more sons of his chief minister to attack Hanuman along with a large army. When the Rakshasas approached the Ashok Grove, riding upon their chariots, they saw Hanuman stationed at the garden's arched gate. In the shower of arrows that followed, Hanuman became momentarily obscured from view, but by leaping into the sky, he avoided the onslaught. After roaring loudly, Hanuman charged. Within moments, his hands and feet smashed innumerable Rakshasas, while others were torn to pieces by his nails. Still, others were crushed by the impact of Hanuman's chest and thighs, and some simply fell to the ground, having been stunned by Hanuman's roar. When all 7 sons of the chief minister had been killed, the remaining warriors panicked and ran away. Hanuman returned to the archway to await further combat. We need someone like that in our movement. Can destroy all the Rakshasas. Next, Ravana sent 5 of his leading generals along with a large army, saying, I want you to capture this Hanuman, for he could not be a mere monkey. He must be some kind of super powerful being. Soon after, as the Rakshasas surrounded Hanuman, the general Durdara released 5 arrows that pierced him in the forehead. Infuriated, Hanuman swelled up immensely in size, leaped into the sky, and fell on Durdara's chariot like lightning striking a mountain. Due to the impact, the chariot was smashed to pieces, and Durdara and the horses fell down, crushed to death. Jai Hanuman! Pretty powerful guy. Enraged at the death of their comrade, 2 other generals named Virupaksha and Upaksha suddenly sprang into the air and struck Hanuman in the chest with their clubs. Undaunted, Hanuman swooped down and uprooted a tall shala tree. He then struck the 2 generals dead. The 2 remaining generals, Pragasa and Basakarna, came before Hanuman, piercing him with their spear and dart. Although covered with blood, the enraged Hanuman tore off the peak of a nearby mountain, along with all its animals, trees, and pounded the 2 Rakshasas to a mass of pulp. Yay, Krishna Shakti. Ram Shakti. With the 5 generals out of the way, Hanuman effortlessly began destroying the rest of the army. He killed the horses by wielding other dead horses, and he crushed the elephants with the help of other elephants. Hanuman struck dead the warriors with other slain soldiers and smashed their chariots by brandishing pieces of broken chariots. After covering the ground with innumerable mutilated bodies, Hanuman once again stationed himself at the garden archway. When Ravana heard of this massacre, he simply glanced at his son Aksha, who was seated close by. Being eager to fight, the prince understood his father's indication and jumped up from his seat in the assembly. After mounting his chariot, which was drawn by 8 horses and could travel through the sky, Aksha went to the Ashok Grove. At a distance, he showered arrows upon Hanuman. Then after coming close, a fierce duel took place. Aksha was very powerful. While witnessing the encounter, the earth began to quake, the sun became dim, and the wind ceased to blow. When Aksha managed to pierce his head with 3 arrows, Hanuman began expanding his body. The young prince was childishly proud of his strength, and so he fearlessly came before Hanuman like an elephant approaching a well that had become covered by grass. After being struck by Aksha's arrows, Hanuman assumed an awesome form and leaped into the air. Aksha closely followed him while constantly releasing his arrows, but Hanuman dodged them while soaring through the sky. When an arrow pierced his chest, Hanuman mentally praised the skill of his enemy and thought, although just a young boy, this Rakshasa is fighting very heroically, and so I do not wish to kill him. On the other hand, as the battle progresses, I can see that his prowess goes on increasing. If I neglect him, I may end up being defeated. Therefore, I had better kill him at once. After all, a fire that is spreading should be extinguished as quickly as possible. While increasing his speed, Hanuman killed Aksha's horses with a slap of his hand. When the disabled chariot fell to the ground, it smashed into pieces. Taking his bow and sword, Aksha jumped out of the broken chariot and ascended into the sky like a sage on his way to heaven after quitting his material body by the power of mystic yoga. Hanuman dexterously caught Aksha by his legs, however, and after spinning him around and around, he dashed him violently to the ground. With all his limbs broken and his chest crushed, the son of Ravana gave up his life while vomiting blood. Sounds like Hanuman's a disciple of Lord Balaram. With the Dwidwid gorilla and the celestial rishis watching from the sky gazed upon Hanuman with wonder while Ravana's heart became filled with terror. As Hanuman waited at the gateway, infuriated, Ravana checked his anger and summoned his eldest son, Indrajit. The king of the Rakshasas said, "In warfare you are unparalleled, for you are my equal. You conquered the king of heaven along with all the demigods, and you received the weapons from Lord Brahma. Now please go and do whatever it is necessary to subdue this mysterious enemy." Hanuman felt very happy to hear the twang of Indrajit's bow as he came before him riding upon his chariot. As Indrajit showered his arrows, Hanuman roared loudly and expanded himself while ascending to the sky to avoid the onslaught. In the battle that followed, Indrajit could not find any opportunity to pierce Hanuman with his arrows, nor could Hanuman get the chance to strike Indrajit. After witnessing the futility of his weapons, Indrajit considered Hanuman incapable of being killed, and so he began to think of how to capture him instead. With this in mind, Indrajit employed a special Brahmastra that immediately tied up Hanuman and made him fall to the ground, practically unconscious. Hanuman could understand that he was being bound by the power of Lord Brahma in the form of a weapon. At the same time, he could remember how he had received a benediction from Lord Brahma that such a weapon would lose its effectiveness a short while after being invoked. Because of this, Hanuman thought, I cannot free myself just now, but still I have nothing to fear. Instead of considering this to be a setback, I should take it to be a good opportunity to see Ravana close up. Even though I have been captured, I am confident that by the benediction of Lord Brahma, I will be able to free myself before long. Some Rakshasas came and tied Hanuman with strong ropes, and while doing so, they abused him with very harsh words. But as soon as Hanuman was tied, the effects of the Brahmastra became nullified, for that weapon could not tolerate coexisting with another means of bondage. Thus Hanuman allowed himself to be tied up by the Rakshasas, and he pretended to feel great pain so that he could have the chance of meeting Ravana. Indrajit could see how Hanuman was feigning bondage after being freed from the influence of the Brahmastra. Indrajit thought to himself, Hanuman's capture has been rendered useless by these thoughtless Rakshasas. Now that the Brahmastra has been nullified, it cannot be invoked again against the same adversary. While Indrajit was pondering over the matter in this way, the Rakshasas dragged Hanuman into the presence of Ravana, excitedly speaking amongst themselves. Who is this monkey-like creature? Someone questioned, while others angrily shouted, Kill him at once, eat him up, let's roast him. We won't mention what goes on in America when there's roasting of meats. Seeing Hanuman tied up in front of him, Ravana asked his ministers to go do the interrogation. In reply to their questions, Hanuman said, I am a messenger from Sugriva, the king of the Vanaras, who sends you his best wishes for your welfare. The noble-minded Sugriva hopes that you are conducting yourself according to religious principles and that as a result your kingdom is prospering. Hanuman was certainly angry at having been captured, and the knowledge that Ravana had kidnapped Sita Devi surely inflamed his rage. And yet, as he gazed upon the king of the Rakshasas, who was seated upon his crystal throne, he thought, with Ravana's charm, presence of mind, courage, splendor, and auspicious bodily characteristics, he would have surpassed even Indra in glory if he had not become averse to righteousness. Ravana was also agitated and angry, but at the same time, he felt apprehensive while looking at Hanuman. He anxiously wondered, is this Nandi, the bull carrier of Lord Shiva, who previously cursed me when I mocked him? Or is this Bana, the king of the Asuras, disguised as a monkey? Prahasta, Ravana's chief minister, assured Hanuman, if you simply tell us the real reason why you have come here, we will let you go. Hanuman replied, as a curious monkey, I came here to meet Ravana, but I knew that an insignificant creature like me would have a very hard time getting the king's audience. And so I destroyed the pleasure garden, hoping to be captured and brought into the royal assembly. I never wanted to harm anyone. But when the Rakshasa soldiers attacked, I was forced to kill them in self-defense. I plead self-defense. Long ago, I received a benediction from Lord Brahma that I cannot be bound by any weapons or ropes. Because of this, you should understand that I purposely allowed myself to be captured, and that the power of Indrajit's Brahmastra has already been nullified. Now please listen as I disclose to you the real reason for my coming here. My name is Hanuman, and I have come as the envoy of Lord Ram, the son of Maharaj Dasharat. I had been searching a long time for his abducted wife, Mother Sita Devi, and it is my good fortune that I have found her here. O King of the Rakshasas, you should know for certain that there is no one who is immune to the arrows of Lord Ram and Lakshman. Not even self-born Brahma, Lord Shiva or Indra would dare face Lord Ram on the battlefield. O Ravana, you are conversant with religious principles. One who is actually wise would never court disaster by giving up the path of virtue. Please take my good advice and give Mother Sita Devi back to Lord Ram before it is too late. Previously, you had become immune to death at the hands of the demigods and the Asuras by virtue of your severe austerities. Cannot you see that in the same way your unrighteous act of kidnapping Mother Sita Devi will bring about disastrous results? Even if I could annihilate Lanka, and so what to speak of Lord Ram? Even I could annihilate Lanka, and so what to speak of Lord Ram, who can dissolve the entire universe and then recreate it as before. Hanuman's speech made Ravana furious. As his reddish eyes rolled in anger, he commanded, "Kill this monkey at once!" With a gentle voice, Bibhishana advised, "My dear elder brother, it is not proper to kill a messenger. You are certainly well aware of religious texts, but all such knowledge will be made null and void if you let yourself become swayed by uncontrolled anger." Good advice. Ravana did not like such free advice, and so he replied, "There is no sin incurred for killing an evil doer. Let Hanuman die." Bibhishana argued, "In Shastra there is no injunction that a messenger can be killed. Such a thing is unheard of. Only mutilation of the limbs, flogging, shaving the head, and branding are punishments that can be administered. My dear Ravana, great heroes like you never fall prey to the influence of uncontrolled anger. I suggest that you try to kill the enemy who has sent Hanuman, and not Hanuman himself. Why don't you send your army to fight with Lord Ram and Lakshman? For it is they who seek revenge." Becoming a little influenced by his pious brother, Ravana finally relented, saying, "Monkeys always prize their tails very highly. Therefore, set fire to his tail, parade him through the streets so that people can see what kind of hero he is. After that, release Hanuman so that he can return to his relatives with a burnt tail and thus suffer great humiliation." Being thus commanded, the Rakshasas first wrapped cotton rags around Hanuman's tail and then soaked the cloth in oil. When the rags were set ablaze, Hanuman expended himself in a fit of rage and began beating the Rakshasas by lashing his tail about. The Rakshasas managed to grab hold of Hanuman and tie him more tightly because he let them do so, desiring to tour Lanka by day just to get a good look at its fortifications. Soon after, the Rakshasas joyfully dragged Hanuman through the streets, announcing to the people that they had captured a spy. As the women, children, and aged curiously came out to see the prisoner, the Rakshasi guards informed Sitadev of Hanuman's plight. Sitadevi became very grieved upon receiving this news, and so she meditated upon Agni and prayed, "If there is any pious credit earned by me as a result of my devotion and austerities. Let it be utilized so that the fire will seem cool to Hanuman." Just then, the sacrificial fire maintained by Sita Devi began burning mildly. At the same time, the fire on Hanuman's tail burned coolly, while Vayu blew ice-cold winds. Hanuman wondered, "Why am I not being burned, even though the flames are blazing brightly? It feels as if the Rakshasas have wrapped ice around my tail. This must be due to the mercy of either Lord Ram or Mother Sita Devi." Hanuman then considered, "It is not at all befitting for a great warrior or a servant of Lord Ram to be bound up and made a laughing stock by these Rakshasas. Enough of this humiliation." In the twinkling of an eye, Hanuman slipped out of his bonds by diminishing his size. Then jumping into the air with a shout, Hanuman instantly assumed his gigantic form, picked up an iron bar he found lying nearby. In a moment he killed the guards and then thought, "What else can I do to torment Ravana and the Rakshasas before returning to Lord Ram? Since my tail is ablaze, why not use it to engulf Lanka in a great conflagration?" Having thus made up his mind, Hanuman jumped onto the roof of Prahashta's palace and set fire there. Then jumping from rooftop to rooftop, he ignited a great fire all over Lanka, avoiding only the palace of the pious Vibhishana. Hanuman went inside the palaces as well, including Ravana's, and because of the raging wind, the fire soon blazed out of control. As the upper stories of the palaces crumbled and crashed to the ground, the intense heat melted the gold and silver, which then mixed with pearls and jewels and flowed into the streets like lava. There was a great uproar amongst the Rakshasas as they tried in vain to save themselves and their possessions. Anguished cries grew louder as the multitudes of Rakshasas, horses, and elephants were burnt. Due to the fat from the burning bodies, the fire blazed higher and higher, so that it appeared to be the time of universal devastation. In a state of panic, the inhabitants of Lanka exclaimed, "Is this Agni himself ravaging our city in the form of a monkey? Or is it Indra, Brahma, time personified, or the unlimited energy of the Lord Vishnu who has come here to destroy us all?" Finally, after circumambulating the entire city, Hanuman paused for a moment, and as he gazed upon the ravaging fire, he felt great satisfaction. Hanuman then began to think about returning to Lord Ram. And so he first went to put out the fire on his tail by dipping it into the ocean. Then, as he once again turned to look at the fire that consumed Lanka, Hanuman suddenly became filled with a terrible apprehension while listening to the screams of the dying Rakshasas. "What a fool I have been to set fire to Lanka," Hanuman thought. "What if Mother Sita Devi has also been burnt? Oh, just see the result of uncontrolled anger, which is the most sinful condition of the living entity, because it causes him to act indiscriminately. What is there that an enraged man will not do or refrain from saying? A person under the sway of anger can murder his own guru or parents and insult the great souls. Only one who has learned to control his anger actually deserves to be called a human being. If I have caused Mother Sita Devi's death, then I have killed my master as well, and so I shall have to give up my life as atonement. To hell with the foolish nature of monkeys that produces actions born of passion and anger. Passionate acts always give uncertain results, And in this case, I may have become the cause of mass destruction. If Mother Sita Devi has died, Lord Ram and Lakshman will no longer be able to live. Then, one after another, Bharat, Shatrughna, Sugriva, and many others will also give up their lives. Without the shelter of these exalted personalities, all other living entities will gradually become disinterested in life. Thus it may be that I have unwittingly caused the destruction of the entire world. So does Sita Devi die? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in South India, and it was revealed to him. He told one Brahmin who was a devotee of Ram that just when Ravana was about to grab Sita Devi, what happened? Agni Dev appeared and took the real Sita Devi into protection, and Maya Sita was given to Ravana. If Mother, as Hanuman lamented in this way, he saw some auspicious omens. He then concluded, virtuous Mother Sita could not have been harmed. After all, by the mercy of Lord Ram, even I was not burnt by the fire, and so what to speak of his beloved consort? The purity of Sita Devi's character alone is sufficient to protect her. The strength of her austerities, her devotion to truth, and her dedication to Lord Ram are more powerful than fire. The Siddhas, Charanas, and other celestial beings had been praising Hanuman for his heroic exploits. Now, to reassure him, they informed him that Mother Sita Devi was safe and sound. Overjoyed and relieved, Hanuman rushed to where Mother Sita Devi was staying, and upon seeing her, he shed tears of happiness. Sita Devi said, my dear Hanuman, please remain here for just one day. I get relief from my burning grief by your association. After all, your return is uncertain, and so is my survival. Due to my intense unhappiness, it seems to me that my lord, Lakshmana, and the monkeys will never be able to cross the ocean. Still, you must urge my husband to come here quickly and rescue me, for I do not feel that I can survive much longer under these conditions. Hanuman tried to comfort Sita Devi by assuring her that Lord Ram would rescue her. Then, having made up his mind to depart, Hanuman went to the top of Mount Arishta. Being very eager to return to Lord Ram after the successful completion of his mission, Hanuman began crushing the mountain with the pressure of his feet. As Hanuman expanded his size, the mountain began to crumble, so that the Gandharvas and animals residing there fled in fear. When Hanuman took his mighty leap, the lofty mountain sank down to become at level with the earth. Thereafter, while sailing through the air, Hanuman once again touched the Menaka mountain as a token of respect. At last he approached Mount Mahendra. Hanuman began roaring in jubilation while waving his tail, for he was very anxious to meet his monkey friends. As they heard Hanuman roaring, all the monkeys waiting on the shore became very eager to catch a glimpse of their hero. Jambavan said, judging from his exuberance, Hanuman must have been successful in his mission. All the monkeys excitedly jumped from tree to tree and mountain peak to mountain peak, waving their cloths. When Hanuman finally came into view, they stood up with folded hands to watch him descend upon Mount Mahendra. Within a short while, the monkeys surrounded Hanuman, shouting with delight as they presented him fruit and roots. Hanuman first offered respect to his elders and then to Prince Angada. In answer to their excited inquiries, Hanuman confirmed that he had found Mother Sita Devi. The monkeys were overjoyed, and so they embraced Hanuman again and again. While praising him for his heroic deed, Angada sat down to talk with Hanuman. So, we have 15 more minutes, 17 more minutes. Should we hear about the death of Ravana or Kumbhakarna? Let's see if I can find it. Ah. Lord Ram kills Ravana. Pretty close to the end of the great epic. It's 294. I'll read ahead of that. Lord Ram does battle with Ravana. Meanwhile, Ravana mounted another chariot and rushed out from the city, being eager to fight with Lord Ram. Lord Ram picked up his bow and began to shower arrows upon Ravana, and the fighting became very aggressive. Time for a break. From the sky, the demigods exclaimed, "This battle is not being fairly fought because Lord Ram is standing on the ground while Ravana rides upon his chariot." Taking his cue, Indra called for Matali and ordered him to take his chariot to where Lord Ram was stationed upon the battlefield. Matali came before Lord Ram, driving Indra's golden chariot drawn by 1,000 horses, having a greenish complexion. The celestial charioteer announced, "My dear Lord, King Indra requests you to kindly accept this chariot. Inside you will find Indra's bow and armor, as well as an incomparable spear and various celestial arrows. My dear Lord Ram, please mount this chariot at once, for the demigods are very aggrieved to see how you have to fight while standing upon the ground." After circumambulating Indra's chariot, Lord Ram mounted it. Thereafter, a thrilling duel took place between Lord Ram and Ravana. A thrilling duel. When Ravana released the Gandharva weapon, Lord Ram quickly neutralized it with another Gandharva weapon. Ravana next discharged a Rakshasa weapon that took the form of innumerable serpents, having blazing, wide-open mouths. In response, Lord Ram released a Garuda weapon that transformed into countless golden eagles that quickly ate up all of Ravana's snake arrows. They're so proud of their nuclear weapons, but this is way more sophisticated technology. This inflamed Ravana's anger. He rapidly retaliated by discharging 1,000 arrows at Lord Ram, numerous more that pierced Matali, a single shaft that knocked down Indra's flag, and many more that afflicted the horses. It appeared as if Lord Ram was being put into great difficulty, and so the demigods and monkey warriors became very anxious. Lord Ram then assumed a very ferocious form of anger, and because of this, the earth began to quake. Many evil omens became visible, so that all beings, including Ravana, became afraid. At this time, numerous demons appeared in the sky to encourage Ravana, just as the demigods were rooting for Lord Ram. As if in response, Ravana picked up a dreadful dart and roared so ferociously that heaven and earth began to tremble. He shouted, "Ram, prepare yourself, for now you're going to die." After saying this, Ravana hurled a terrible weapon. As it soared through the sky, it made a loud roaring noise, and it was encircled by lightning. Lord Ram released innumerable arrows in attempt to intercept that awesome missile, just as Indra tries to stop the fire of devastation that occurs at the end of the Kalpa by pouring torrential rain. Lord Ram could see that the onrushing dart was consuming his arrows, and so he picked up the celebrated spear of Indra and hurled it. While soaring through the air, that spear illuminated all directions and collided with Ravana's dart. Shattering it to pieces, it fell harmlessly to the ground. Lord Ram and Ravana continued to assail one another with showers of arrows, so that blood flowed from the wounds that covered their bodies. Still being undaunted, Lord Ram laughed disdainfully and rebuked Ravana by saying, "O kidnapper of Sita, you are a first-class fool for considering yourself to be a great hero. Factually, you are a great coward, for you only dared to take away my wife after luring me far away. How can you be so proud of overpowering a poor defenseless woman in the absence of her husband? Ravana, today you will meet your deserved end, as the body you are so attached to will become food for vultures and jackals." After saying this, Lord Ram attacked Ravana with redoubled energy and greater dexterity. This was combined with the volleys of stones hurled by the monkeys. Within a short time, Ravana became dazed and bewildered at heart, so that he could no longer properly take up and discharge his weapons. Seeing this, Ravana's charioteer drove him swiftly away from the battlefield, beyond the reach of Lord Rama's arrows. When Ravana came to his senses, he chastised his driver. "By your shameless action, I can understand that you consider me to be impotent and a coward. By acting independently, you have spoiled my reputation. Take me back to the battlefield at once." The chariot driver replied, "O king, I took you away from the fighting for your own welfare. You had lost all your strength, and the horses had also become exhausted. Many inauspicious omens were visible as well. And so I did what I consider to be my foremost duty." Ravana became pacified by his charioteer's words. He ordered, "Go quickly to where Ram is staying. Once Ravana has made up his mind, he does not turn back until he has completely destroyed his enemies." Meanwhile, in Ravana's absence, Agastya Rishi came to see Lord Ram, knowing that he had become fatigued from fighting. After being properly honored and welcomed, Agastya Rishi said, "My dear Ram, kindly receive from me the Aditya Hridaya prayer that is meant for satisfying the sun god. This mantra bestows blessings, great blessings, and cleanses one of all sins. One who chants this hymn prolongs his life and remains fixed on the eternal path of religion. O deity of the sun, I offer my obeisances unto you. You are chief of the demigods because of your unlimited effulgence that maintains the entire universe. You are worshipped by both demigods and asuras for obtaining ultimate welfare. You are the reservoir of universal energy and the source of life for all beings. As such, you perfectly represent the Supreme Lord Vishnu as his empowered expansion. Men who know the Vedas worship you as Lord Narayan, situated within the sun, by chanting suitable prayers 3 times daily. It is you alone who destroys the dense darkness of this universe. And thus I bow down to you, O splendorous one. Again and again I offer my obeisances unto you, the eye of the Supreme Lord, and witness of the world's activities. O Lord Ram, if you recite this mantra while worshipping the sun god as the all-in-all, you will certainly be able to conquer your enemy. Anyone in difficulty who worships Surya with his prayer never comes to grief. After his departure of Agastya Muni, Lord Ram felt rejuvenated. He sipped water 3 times while uttering the holy name of the Lord. Then, facing the sun, Lord Ram recited the Aditya Hridaya prayers, and as he did, he felt great transcendental bliss. Afterwards, Lord Ram picked up his bow and advanced towards Ravana, determined to kill him in an all-out effort. At this time, Surya spoke to Lord Ram from the sky, urging him, "Do not delay, go quickly." Lord Ram ordered, "O Matali, drive quickly to where Ravana is staying, but at the same time be very cautious." Then, remembering that he was speaking to Indra's charioteer, Lord Ram felt embarrassed, and so he apologized. "I am very sorry to have instructed you as if I were your master. It is just that I am eager to kill Ravana, so please excuse my offense." Lord Ram and his adversary began to exchange arrows. Soon the fighting became very intense. Clouds rained blood upon Ravana's chariot, and a flock of vultures followed it. A huge meteor fell nearby, and so all the Rakshasas became exceedingly despondent, while Ravana became convinced that he would soon die. On the other hand, very pleasing signs appeared before Lord Ram, and so he became convinced that victory would soon be his. In the duel that followed, Lord Ram and Ravana gradually exhibited the entire wealth of their respective prowess. The competition was so intense that both armies became stunned with amazement. Indeed, all the soldiers stood motionless, just like paintings, and because they were so absorbed in watching the fight, they did not even think of attacking one another. When Ravana tried to knock down Indra's flag, Lord Ram deflected his arrows with his own. Then, because he was determined to match Ravana blow for blow, Lord Ram knocked down the Rakshasa king's flag. Ravana pierced Indra's horses, but when the celestial steeds did not even stagger, he became angry and frustrated. At last, Ravana resorted to the Rakshasa power of illusion to send forth clubs, discs, trees, and mountain peaks. Lord Ram was able to counteract all these before they reached his chariot, but they fell upon the army of monkeys. Lord Ram and Ravana continued to dispatch thousands of weapons on each other. As they collided in the air, these weapons fell onto the battlefield. In this way, the fighting continued for about an hour. Lord Ram matched Ravana blow for blow. While all created beings looked on, their minds astonished with wonders. Both drivers also displayed great skill. When the chariots came side by side, Lord Ram forced Ravana's 4 horses to turn away by piercing them with 4 arrows. This incited Ravana's anger, and so he repeatedly pierced Lord Ram in retaliation. Still, Lord Ram remained undisturbed. Sometimes Ravana fought in his 10-headed feature, and at other times he fought in his normal form, having 1 head. On one occasion, Lord Ram managed to sever Ravana's head with an arrow, but as that head fell to the ground, a duplicate one miraculously cropped up in its place. Lord Ram severed that head, and another one immediately manifested itself. Again and again, Ram cut off Ravana's head until altogether 100 such heads lay on the battlefield. Because each time a new head appeared to replace the one he severed, Lord Ram began to wonder. With these arrows, I formerly killed Maricha, Kara, and Virata. I pierced 7 solid trees and killed the invincible Bali. These arrows had humbled great mountains and agitated the fathomless sea. How is it that they are ineffectual against Ravana? The duel continued at a furious pace. Both combatants were obsessed with desire for killing each other. In fact, several days and nights passed without any break in the fighting. I have 1 minute left, so I can jump ahead. Oh, just a couple of paragraphs left. At last, when Matali saw that Ram was not gaining his desired victory, he inquired, "Why are you simply fighting defensively? My lord, are you not aware of your limitless potencies? The hour of doom has now arrived for the king of the Rakshasas. Why don't you employ the divine Brahmastra?" Being thus reminded of this ultimate weapon, Lord Ram picked up the arrow that Agastya Rishi had formerly given him at the time of their meeting in the Dandaka forest. That arrow had been constructed personally by Lord Brahma for Indra's use, and later on it was presented to Agastya. Garuda supplied the feathers for that wonderful arrow, and the sharp head combined the energy of the fire god Agni and the sun god. Mount Meru and Mount Mandara contributed their gravity to the arrow's weight, and its shaft was made from the subtle ethereal element. This Brahmastra weapon was omnipotent and infallible, and its dazzling effulgence made it rival the splendor of the sun. After empowering the Brahmastra with the required mantras, Lord Ram placed it upon his bowstring. As the monkeys gazed upon that flaming arrow, their hearts became filled with delight, while a dreadful fear penetrated the cores of the hearts of all the Rakshasas. As Lord Ram pulled the bowstring back to his ear, the earth trembled and the heavens also appeared to become disturbed. When Lord Ram released the Brahmastra, it sped through the air like death itself and violently fell upon the chest of wicked Ravan. After piercing right through the king of the Rakshas's heart, that effulgent arrow entered deep into the earth, taking his sinful life along with it. As that awesome Brahmastra came and re-entered Lord Rama's quiver, Ravana dropped the bow from his hand and fell down dead from his chariot. Hari Bol, Lord Ram! Lord Ram Ki! The disappearance day of Ravana is here. With great transcendental ecstasy, the monkey warriors loudly proclaimed Lord Ram's victory as they attacked the fleeing Rakshasa army. From the sky, the demigods shouted, "Sadhu, sadhu, well done, excellent," as they completely covered Lord Ram's chariot with showers of flowers and beat upon their celestial drums. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So a long time ago, Vishnu Jamaraj wrote an article in Back to Godhead. And it was about, Prabhupada said that many empires have, you know, blossomed and then met with destruction. And then there was the Roman Empire. Then there was, before that, the Greek Empire. There was the empire of Genghis Khan. All these empires would rise and then fall. The American Empire, British Empire, like that. So Prabhupada quoted this verse, Puna Puna Charvita Charvananam, that again and again, the human beings who are atheistic and demonic, Rakshashim Asurim Chaiva, Prakritim Asitim Shitaha, Mohitim Shitaha, that they build these great empires, they want Sita without Ram. So in that article, which John was writing beautifully, how they want the opulence of God without God. And they keep just recycling these empires. They keep rising and falling, because Sita won't stay where there's Rakshashas and demons. And so we have great hope that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement will destroy the demoniac empire, globalization, materialistic civilization. And, Grinanti Gayanti, that one verse says, we are creating a revolution within the lives of the world's misdirected civilization, right? Anyway, that verse is there. So this is our business. We are the warriors of Lord Chaitanya, of Srila Prabhupada. And our arrows are the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the holy name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. And we only kill with love, kill with compassion, the demoniac tendencies of people in general. So that's our business. Prabhupada said, I'm bringing the white monkeys from America, white elephants, white monkeys, to India. And the Indians were very amazed because the culture of India has been suppressed for so many centuries by the Mughals, by the British. So many invaders came. But Prabhupada said they couldn't destroy the Vedic, totally destroy the Vedic culture, Sanatan Dharma. So now Sanatan Dharma is destined to spread throughout the world for 10,000 years. And Srila Prabhupada said, these books that he has written, actually he said Krishna wrote them, but he's empowered. Just like Hanuman was empowered, Srila Prabhupada was empowered. He says they're the law books for the next 10,000 years. And we'll feel safe when all the Supreme Court judges will have tilak on their foreheads. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhus, for your wonderful presentations.
Haribo.
Great day, Ram Navami, celebration of Lord Ram. Haribo.
His Grace Kripanidhi Prabhu ki jai. Haribo. Now we'll have kirtans and after that we'll have Pushpanjali. So, yeah, ecstatic